Today, we focus on maximizing our profits for next season, so let's dig in. G'day mates, how's it going? You're on DirtByte. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 2025 Highlands Fishing Expansion. You joined me in October again. So we're picking off pretty much where we finished the last episode, because I just having a quick look around the map before I moved on and found that our spinnery is fully out of wool. So I want to get these, we got 9.5 pallets taken down, so it can continue working overnight while we move forward. Looks like there's probably about maybe 6 or 7 pallets of fabric already down there, but I'm not going to sell it just yet. I'm going to keep it on in storage down there, because in a couple of months time we'll have to sell a lot of our produce that we've done from our onions, and I hope that the money we make from that will go to buy the tailor shop. And then I know that if we convert our wool into the fabric and then follow it on into clothes, the amount of money we can make from these sheep becomes astronomical. Especially because we were given the sheep in the map when we first started, and then it just takes a little bit of grass to keep them going. And they're actually making quite a bit of wool. So we did only clear the spawn point this morning in game at the start of October, and there's already at least, well, there's one full pallet and a partial pallet there. So that's occurred in this one day, so in the last few hours, which like I said, I'm pretty impressed with. So we'll see how much is in that other pallet now, if I can get them both on at the times at the same time, which I should be able to. Maybe. Yeah, so it's 1.5 pallets pretty much in the course of a few hours. I have noticed that we are very low on diesel too, so we will need to head down to the fuel station, to the servo, and get this topped up in the JCB. And I think it's probably a wise idea if I go via the servo, because I don't want to run out or forget after we've dropped off the produce down at the spinnery. Let's get this all hooked back on. There we go, that should be better now. Strap it down, and we've got 9,559 litres of wool. So I'm definitely not going to be complaining at that. Alright, we had that down. Then we are going to move forward to November. I don't know if there's going to be very much to do in November, because we've harvested all our crops. We've got some of the straw bales that do need to be collected, but I think that December or January is the best time for them. I think most likely December is going to be the best time for our onion produce, our onion salt, onion rings, onion soup. We maybe have to get some oilseed radish put into this field on the right into the previous soybean field. We might get that underway. But then, yeah, we may end up just skipping right through December and getting some of our produce sold and making what I anticipate is going to be quite a good income from that work we did in the onion field. It was a lot of work. It took a long time, to be like 3 episodes to get all those onions harvested. But I do think it's going to pay off, and we're at the point now where we're about to see that happen. I did check, and it's used like about 20 or 30% of the onion, so it's going to be a multi-year progress or process to get the income from the onions. But now we do own that production. I was thinking it may be worth trying to put some other vegetables in, like I think they can do carrots, parsnips, red beets, but we'll have to see what the equipment costs would be, and especially the harvesters. The harvesters for those sorts of things are very expensive, and they can take quite some time. So we'll start refilling the tractor and we'll have a look at the store just so I can have a bit of an understanding of what we'd need to get if we decide to go down a root crop route. So we've got, that's for beet. So vegetables, we can look at the vegetable harvesters. So you've got a trailed harvester that is only 0.8 meters wide. It does have a ability to actually store 5.5 cubic meters of produce. And this one here is 3 meters wide. It can do red beets, carrots, and parsnips. I believe this one can also store the produce. I think there's a hopper in there, but I'm not 100% sure about that. If we were to lease this, how much would it be? So it would be $32,500 and then $13,000 per working hour. So it's a huge, huge expense for something that I don't know whether you'd actually make the money back. Like some of these other ones would be better, but when they're only like single row 0.8 meters, if you start looking at the sort of size fields we've got and how many vegetables would actually want to harvest to make some profits, you know, these ones would be realistically not very good. I think some of these you need a trailer running beside them, or you can use the, I think this one can take the timber bins. You have to put the bins on and it can fill it as it goes. And that may be something that's interesting. But how much would that be to lease? That's still $9,000 plus nearly $4,000 per working hour. And then I think you'd have to get the bins or the consumables. So $130 per pallet. We probably need like, I don't know, 30 or, well, depends on the side of the field, maybe like 25, 30 pallets. That's a cost. They do hold 2,000 as each. I don't know if you get them back if we were to buy the pallets, if we took them to the vegetable production, if we actually get the pallet back. So I don't know if it's just that $103 is just gone. So yeah, that's something that I've been thinking about. It would be interesting. I haven't really done the vegetables in 25 hardly at all, other than the onions, because that was new to this map. So I would be interested in investigating it, but we may need to get a purpose field for it. Maybe something that's a bit smaller. Maybe something down here closer to where the store is. So if we are picking up all of those boxes, we can go and bring them in quickly, and also transporting the produce down to the vegetable processing plant. It would be best if we were closer to it. So once we've been over here, we'll have a look at the map and see if there's any good small fields around that may be worthwhile doing that. And we'll just see if we can afford them. All right, here we are. You can see our fabric pallets lined up. There's 2, 4, 6, there's 7. We'll get another lot of wool put in. I do think it would be worthwhile doing some cotton as well. Like I said, we can turn the cotton into the fabric as well. And then with the tailor shop, we can make a significant amount of money. But with that, you want to do quite a bit of cotton. I'd want to do a number of fields, so that it was actually worth getting the harvester, because again, the cotton harvester is similar to the vegetable harvesters. It's very expensive. So if we have a look at the cotton harvester, you can get the Case Module Express, $485,000 to buy, or $24,000, $24,700 to rent, plus $10,000 per hour. So you want to make sure that you've got a lot of cotton in to warrant that expense. And then the John Deere CP690, $874,000. You've got to be dreaming. Why would anyone want to buy that? It doesn't do anything better than the Case, and it's almost double the price. If we were to lease, let's look how much to lease. It would be $43,197 to lease, nearly $18,000 per working hour. How much money do you have to make from your cotton to actually justify that cost? So if we do cotton, we will be getting the Case. I suppose the only difference is the Case makes square bales, John Deere makes round bales. The Case has a bigger working capacity. I mean, it's less horsepower, but still. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the map after a quick autosave. So we're here. So this is our vegetable processing plant, is this location. So there's not really any fields that are close to that. I'm probably looking for something quite small. Like 29's okay, but that's right at the top of the hill. 4's maybe a decent size, but it's quite a ways away from where we need to be. Just seeing if there's anything over here. Most of the fields on this map are actually quite big. 43 is probably maybe the best, but then that's nearly $150,000, and it ends up with all this extra area that we don't need. So I think we'll just put the root crop vegetables on the back burner for now, and we'll see what the best option is maybe next year. Just see how we're going with the castle, and if we want something else, I think we should focus on cotton next time, and then maybe some root crops the following year. I'm going to just leave this tractor here because we may end up using it to take the fabric over to our spinnery or our fabric shop, tailor shop when we get it, if we get it. And we'll jump over into this tractor. And I think we can plant oilseed radish at this time of the year. So let's just have a quick look. Oilseed radish. Oh, this is the last month. Oh, so in that case, maybe we're not jumping forward into November. We're maybe just getting the oilseed radish underway right now. So it probably should turn the speed down a little bit. It is already 15:22, so nearly 3:30 in October, so it won't be long before it's getting really dark. But I do think it's worth doing the oilseed radish, and then we will follow up with the subsoiler just to really get the soil turned over. We do have the periodic ploughing requirement on. I think there's only one field that does actually need it at the moment, but we can get ahead of it and, you know, do a few fields this time since we do have the subsoiler, and we have been using the oilseed radish as the green manure. So we'll get this done as a time lapse. I hope it doesn't take too long. It shouldn't do. There we go, we're underway. I just want to confirm on the map that we're actually planting the oilseed radish. I think it would show. Yep, perfect. So there's nothing to it but to do it. So let's get stuck in, and I'll see you once it's all done.
No rain, no rest, still we punch. Line, tin roof shaking, diesel coughs, engines breaking, red dust on boots, hands cracked wide. One more run, we drag it alive. Bale after bale, field after field, mouth full of grit, won't let it yield. Then dead stop, everything drops. Hold that breath, hear the rod knock. Muck in the rut, traction gone. Farm kid rage, and we move on. Mud on the clutch, mud on the clutch. We grind, we lurch, we live this crunch. Mud on the clutch, mud on the clutch. No rain, no rest, still we punch. Sink deep, got nowhere. Tank on low, skylight bone. Choked by drought, but not alone. Neighbor rolls in, pulls me clear. One busted beast, still we steer. Hold the line, hold the line. Blade of weather, bleeds us dry. Then the spark, then the roar. We kick the gate, we storm the floor.
Alright, so we just have a little bit left to go, but I have noticed that the tractor is really underpowered going up the hills, and looks like the servicing is well and truly overdue. Our maintenance bar is down at like, what, about 25%? So it seriously needs to have a good service, and hopefully it will improve the performance for the tractor, because going downhill with this setup, 18 kilometers an hour, going back uphill with it down, ready, like working, it's like 13, 12, 11. So yeah, that's a big issue. This is our biggest horsepower tractor, so we need to make sure we've got it fully looked after, fully maintained, so we can get the most out of it. So since we're already down this way, close to the store, I'm going to head down now. I'm going to drop it off for a service, and then we'll have to move forward into tomorrow. And I think we're going to do some forestry work, as our sawmill needs to be restocked again. Been a while since we've cut any trees down, so we've got a little opportunity, a little interlude between all of the farming work we've been doing and the profits that we'll be getting from the onions. Another item that we potentially could look at getting is the carpentry, because it looks like the castle's got plenty of wood at the moment. So to really value add our trees, if we were to get the carpentry production, then we could take all of the lumber up to the carpentry and make the money from there. We'll see how much it is in a minute. I just want to jump out and get this tractor service. It's probably going to be very expensive because we've left it a long time. So yeah, condition is really bad, and it's going to be 6,839 to repair, which is good. We might as well do the Diablo Power Chain 800 while we're here. It's only $73, and let's face it, the weight does not really matter. So while we're here, we can also have a look to see how much the carpentry is after we have another autosave. And the carpentry is way up here. This one, that's the coal mine. I don't know what the coal mine is for. Is that where you can buy stuff? Maybe this is that's where Noah lives. I'm assuming that there is a carpentry around because he did mention it. I don't know. I better have a more detailed look, and I'll bring you back in if I find it. Here you go. I found it. It's down by the train yard. So let's have a visit and see how much it would be to buy. So 300,000. So quite expensive. So it's something we can look into. The other one we were looking at is the tailor shop, which is this one. Let's have a look. This is 240,000. So we need a lot of money for these. We're still in the process of making quite a bit of money. The castle has still got halfway to go, so we still have time on this map to really get all the production. There's a bakery as well. So we're getting there. We've actually got quite a few. I think there's only like 3 left that we haven't bought, which is the tailor shop, the bakery, and the carpentry. Oh, and the biogas plant. But I don't think that that's something we'll be getting. But you never know. We'll just see how it goes. But I do know now we need to find our house, which is here. And we're going to go in and we're going to skip through to November, and we'll get started on some tree work. So I'll meet you up in the forest when we're about to start cutting some trees down. All right, here we are. I've got one tree already cut, and I'm in the process of loading it up. As we normally do in this series, we use super strength for loading up the timber. It's just the quickest way. Like, this series is about progress, it's about fun. There's no rules, there's no sticklers to be like, oh, you can't lift up 2.5 tons of log just by yourself and lift it up 3 meters in the air like that. And then maybe throw it over the side. No, it actually got on there. So yeah, that's the way it is. We've got one tree already cut and processed. There is a beech tree here that, again, we don't like them. They're a pain in the butt because of their head. They're so hard to process. But we did just cut down, I think it was a sort of spruce tree. I'm going to cut down this one. It's a pine. Get the chainsaw out. Get this one done and processed and taken down. I reckon if we get 2 to 3 trees on the load. So what we'll do is we'll just get into a time lapse, see how it goes. I know that tree time lapses can be a little bit, well, not very good for some people because it makes them feel a bit sick or whatever. So just see how it goes. What we'll do is if people do find it a bit off-putting or don't like the tree work time lapses, please do comment below, and yeah, you'll limit them in the future. These trees are so good, they're so easy to process. All right, so there's another branch there somewhere. Sweet, that's good. So, all right, I'm going to get in, cut this one, cut up, load it on, and probably cut down one of these other ones. I'll see you when we're heading down to the sawmill. we are. So I didn't end up getting another tree cut down because our trailer is fully loaded. Like, it's a huge amount of timber on here, and I did cut them up into two smaller pieces, like really too small. I think we probably need to be aiming for like 9 meters. Nothing else, cut them around 4 or 5. So I need to be mindful of that next time. It might be worth actually getting a like logging trailer for our truck. We have the Mac now, so it might be worth actually getting rid of this one and getting a bigger one for our truck when we get more timber on it in one go. Let's just see how much we've got here. So we've got no wood in the production at all, and now we have 21,897. So that's not too bad for 1 or 2 trees. 2 trees it was. I think that's all we need to do for now. We're going to let it do its thing, get the timber underway. Probably end up doing another load maybe in December or January, especially through the winter months where there's not a huge amount going. We can stockpile a few trees down there even, so that when the time does come and it doesn't need it, we can then put it into there and they can process more timber. This timber is a really good way to make good money, and that's what we need to do. I want to actually expand our fields a little bit so that when we do cotton next year, we can do 3 or 4 good sized fields of cotton, plus still be able to do our soybeans and some oil, whether it be sunflower or canola, and our flour as well, so we can keep the fish food production going. So probably want maybe 6 to 7 decent sized fields of crops in next year, and 3 to 4 of them being cotton. Get enough. I want to make enough cotton to literally last us the entire series in this next growing season. We just keep pumping it into the spinnery and then keep it going to the tailor shop when we do get that. Oh look, there's actually, oh, that's really interesting. It's probably going to be too early for us though. So that's a nice field of cotton. But if we were to buy it, we'd have to get the harvester twice, which I don't want to do. So there may be a contract that comes up for this that we may be able to, you know, do for fun. But if we're going to do 3 or 4 fields of our own cotton next time, that's going to be quite a significant amount of work. So probably don't want to be starting cotton early for someone else when we'll have a lot to do ourselves. When we get back up to the farm, I am going to have a quick look at the map and just see what fields we do have, what the options may be for cotton, and when we do need to start thinking about planting it, because I don't want to miss the opportunity to get it in this season. I'd like to buy this. We own this field here. I'd like to buy the one in between, so you can see our 2 nice fields of oilseed radish have really germinated and come up good. There's a field just there that I'd like to get. So that's yeah, let me park this up and I'll bring the map up. All right, so here, this is what we own. We have field 35, which we know we're just in. We have 20, which is a decent one. And 23, 23 are the ones we started with. We also have 22, 36, and 24. So, you know, 21 would be nice to get. That's only $129,000. And then I would like to fill 25, but this is going to be expensive. That's, yeah, nearly, well, it's 426,768. That would be an ideal field for cotton. So I think the plan would be, at this stage, is buying field 21, because that's not too expensive. Using field 21 for our oil crop, because we don't need a huge amount of oil. We've used 36, then we'd use 24, 23, and 36 as cotton, 20 as a flour crop, sorghum, probably wheat, just so that we can get the maximum amount out of it. And if we were able to buy another field, then we could do another flour crop, so another millable crop. That would give us 3 decent sized fields of cotton, and that would definitely, you know, last us quite a while. Look at the size of field 37. That's not very big, and that's cotton as it is. We'll have to just see what happens in the next year, because we just need to see when we can plant the cotton so we don't miss that. See for cotton, so we can get into that early, so we can get into that in February. So that's actually going to work out really well for us. So we have the winter to prep for it. We've got to get those fields ripped up and in preparation for February. So that's really good to know. And then we can also have a look at what is actually still around. So what's field 26? What's in field 26? Is that corn? Yes, it is. So I'm open to buying another field this year as well as 21. If it's got something in it worth harvesting. So it's got spinach. So there is a few options around something. Maybe field 5 is probably expensive. Yes, it is. But yeah, there's lots of options. But that's the way we're going to go, is we're going to focus on getting the cotton in for next year. All right, I think that's it for this episode. There's nothing else really we can get started now before like I'd normally finish. Next time we'll be up there cutting the grass. I don't know whether we'll actually just keep it as make it hay. We have a huge amount of hay that should last us another, you know, through the winter more than, yeah, definitely it will last us through the winter. Then we also, if we check on the silage, I think we've got plenty of silage. So yeah, we've even got a full pit that we haven't even unwrapped yet. So we've got more than enough silage. So what I may do is I might actually cut that field up the top, bale it, because we have the square baler, and then wrap it and just sell it as silage for profit in January. It'd probably take 3 months to ferment. So we'll just make it as a profit because we don't actually need the grass or the silage at this point. Our animal farming isn't at that sort of stage where we need a lot of feed. So that's definitely the plan for next time. Before we head off, I will just go and check on the cows, see how they're going. We'll also be able to start getting in and selling our straw bales. That'll be something that'll happen in December, I believe. So what have we got here? So we've got 4,000 litres of water, and they've only, seems like they've only got meadow. Let's go the menu this way. Yeah, so they've got meadow, but they're out of the TMR. So I need to top that up next time. Well, it's still 36 months we're going to sell them. So there's still another 9 months before we're going to sell the next lot. So it's not a huge imperative that we get it up, get the productivity up straight away, I don't think. But so we can work on next time. It'd be nice if we could actually plumb this trough in. That would be my ideal scenario. But I think you can get like maybe an expansion. So I might have to get an expansion so we don't have to top it up so much or so regularly. All right. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do remember to like and subscribe. And for now, remember to keep your boots dirty and your bites clean. And I'll catch you next time on DirtByte.